right, so before we get into this video, I wanted to give a quick disclaimer. I am not offering professional advice on any level in this situation. I just want to make that very clear. I am not professionally trained. I am just a person who has been and is currently going through some stuff. And I just want to share with you not how to deal with grief, but more so how I myself, Tammicia, is dealing with grief. And now to the video. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tammicia, and if you are a current subscriber, welcome back. If you're a new subscriber, then welcome. It's so good to see you. Yes, this is not going to be a food video. I just wanted to put that out there because this is a cooking channel and all things food, but this is not going to be a food video. I needed to take some time to share with you guys something that I've been going through personally, and I'm hoping that in me sharing it with you, that if you are currently experiencing some of these things, that maybe this video can help you. So, I did put up a video recently, and I did get a lot of questions that were saying, oh, I thought you were taking a break, and I had some questions on my Instagram. You know, people were like, hey, where you been? I thought you were taking a break. So yes, I was taking a break, and the reason being is because my father passed away this past November 27th to be exact. So man, y'all. I wanted to make this video a while ago, and I would stand in the mirror and see if I can actually get it out of my mouth that my dad died, you know, and I would stand in the mirror and look at myself and say, my dad died. And if I felt like if I can actually get those words out without breaking down, then I would be able to actually finally make a video to let you guys know what has been going on. But from November to now, we're in mid-January, I could not say those words without breaking down. So it has been rough, you guys. It has been rough. If you've watched some of my earlier videos, you know, when I started putting up cooking videos over the summer, I've made a lot of mention of my dad because I would not be in the kitchen if it was not for him. He was my first introduction into food. When I was a little girl and I was 2 or 3 years old, he'd pull up a chair to the stove and I'd help him stir pots, and he was the one to introduce me to spices and introduce me to, you know, different flavor combinations. And he is the reason why I love food and I love cooking and I love creating in the kitchen. So while this is not a food related video, it is related for me because there would be no A Mouthful and all the other channel name changes that I've had over the past few months if it wasn't for him. So yes, my father passed away November 27th, and I literally felt like I have been in a fog since then. And I am working through getting out of that fog and working through being able to deal with everyday life without him being a part of it physically. So yeah, you guys. So with that being said, I did not want to make a video of me just being overly emotional and crying and a complete mess. I wanted to make a video to sit down and talk to you guys about the things that I'm doing and that's helping me deal with grief and deal with the loss of my father. If you have lost someone very, very important to you, you know, if a parent, a spouse, a sibling, a child, you know, any type of loss in your life, and you feel like, I don't know what to do, I feel like I'm in this fog, I just wanted to give you guys some encouragement and let you know that there is somebody else out there who's dealing. Alright guys, so I got some notes so that I can stay on track with this video. But the very first thing that I wanted to say, and it is honestly I think the most important, and it's one that I'm still learning to work on, is to give yourself permission. I know that sounds so simple, but it is extremely, it's difficult for me. I don't know, it may not be difficult for you, but it's difficult for me. Give yourself permission to grieve. Give yourself permission to feel everything that you're feeling. Give yourself permission to cry. It's hard for me because sometimes I feel like it's an inconvenience for everyone else if I'm sitting and I'm hurting. But it is okay. There is not an expiration date on grief. So whatever you're feeling, you have a right to feel that way. You have a right to hurt. You have a right to grieve. Give yourself permission. Okay. Number 2, this is another one that I found myself kind of slipping on, which is self-care. Do it on a daily basis. When I first came home, I was in the bed, oh my God, for days. And it didn't help that I actually work from home too. So I'd literally still be in the bed on my laptop working, but I wouldn't get out of bed. I'd still be sitting in my pajamas. So self-care daily. Get up every single day. Even if you know that you're probably going to still spend the day in the bed, you know, we'll get on that a little bit later, but if it's one of those days where it's like, you know what, I need to just stay in the bed today, at least get up and wash your face, brush your teeth, take a shower, you know, put on some clean clothes, because when you take care of your body, it kind of changes your mind. You know, if you're just sitting and you haven't brushed your teeth or washed your face and you're just sitting in a dirty room, in a dirty bed, in a dark room, that depression is going to set in even stronger than it would be if you hadn't taken care of yourself. So remember to take care of yourself every single day. You know, if you do leave out of the house every day, make your bed up. You know, make your bed up before you leave out of the house. So when you come back home, your room is clean and, you know, you can just relax and it doesn't add any extra anxiety to you. Another important thing to do is make sure that you are eating. That's so important. You know, we sometimes when we're hurting and we're grieving, something as simple as making sure that we eat a balanced meal throughout the day kind of slips our mind. So make sure that you have your meals, have some healthy snacks. Just have yourself some healthy snacks, stay hydrated, make sure that you eat, make sure that you're resting, and take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. It's extremely important when you're dealing with and battling and, trying to overcome depression while you're grieving. So another thing is allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. You know, in that moment when it happens, feel it. Don't push it away. I have been so guilty over years, always pushing my feelings away and kind of sweeping them under a rug and getting back up because I had to, I have children I got to take care of, and I have to be strong and I had to go to work and everything. So a lot of things that I probably should have dealt with when it happened, I didn't. I didn't do it. And I did not want to go into that mindset this time with dealing with my dad passing, because this ultimately, this is the biggest loss I've ever experienced, is losing my father. So I did not want to go numb when it came to him, and I felt like going numb and sweeping it under the rug would not honor him and the life that he led and the life that he poured into me. So feel what you are feeling in that moment. Allow those feelings to be present. Acknowledge them. Also acknowledge what stage of grief you are in. It said that there's 7 stages of grief, and so be able to recognize which stage you're in. I don't think that they necessarily go in order, at least not the first 4 stages maybe. I don't think that they go in order. I think that you can feel either one of them at any given time. So acknowledge and recognize which stages that you're currently in. The first one is shock and denial. When it first happens, you're so overwhelmed with, what took place and letting everybody know and, maybe planning funeral services or planning a ceremony and everything, that are trying to give everything gathered together, and that you don't really realize that, oh, this is is real. This really happened. So we do experience shock and then denial of it, and we kind of end up brushing things under a rug. Maybe because I know for me, I had to go to Ohio. That's where my father lived. And so while we were planning his funeral and I was in his house and I was surrounded by so much family, everything was constant and nonstop in planning his services. So it really did not hit me. I knew what was going on. Obviously, I was present in planning, but it really did not hit me until I left Ohio and I came back to my own home, and then it became real. So then the shock, it really set in, and it was extremely overwhelming. So another is pain. Pain and guilt is number two. And so what they like to encourage is that, what I just previously said, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Don't numb yourself by medication or drinking or whatever it is that you use to escape. Don't numb yourself from it. Allow yourself to feel those things. You're also going to go through anger and bargaining. You're mad. I'm going to be real. You guys, I went through a lot of anger, and I still go through that too, because I'm questioning why, why. And then you like to make deals. Well, just bring them back if I do so-and-so. And reality is that's not going to happen. So, you're going to go through that as well. Also, depression, reflection, and loneliness. So phone calls stop after a while. When you first lose someone, your phone is ringing off the hook. People are sending you emails and messages and text messaging. And then after a while, those things stop. So now you really have to deal with it. And then you do sink into a little bit of depression, but recognize when that's happening and be able to kind of pull yourself out of it. I have a tendency to go into isolation. This is something that I'm very guilty of, and I've done it over the years, where I like to kind of describe it as caving into myself, and so that will happen also. You'll start to separate yourself from other people, and people will actually start to separate themselves from you because they don't know what to say to you, so after a while, it gets a little bit better. You'll start going into an upward turn. You'll start to feel a little less pain, a little less anger. Things will start to be a little bit more calm for you. The days will start to be brighter for you. I know for the first month, I don't know if you guys ever had it. We used to have a light in my house that you can control the brightness. You bring it down and control it, and it's a little dim. I felt like the lights were on, but I felt like I was always walking around in a dim room. No matter how bright it really was, physically, I just always felt like everything was just dim around me. So, you will start to see brighter days, and the anxiety will start to wear off, and you'll start to feel better. Then you're going to go into reconstruction, which is basically starting to build your life again and moving forward without the physical presence of your loved one being there. And then number 7 is acceptance. You'll be able to accept that, okay, they are gone. This is reality. This is what it is. But I've made peace with it, and you can start to see the future again. And then things are never going to return back to what people may consider normal after you've lost a loved one, but you'll start to begin to get some normalcy into your life, into your daily life. Like I said, tears will lessen, and you'll start to have happier days ahead. I'm going to be real again with you guys. I am still somewhere between 1 and 4. I have not hit the upward turn. You know what? I'm not actually going to say that, because the fact that I'm sitting here making this video means that I guess I will give myself that credit and say that maybe I am starting to hit the upward turn, but maybe in the beginning stages of the upward turn, but I'm still very much in 1 through 4 every day. So as I said, realize that there are stages of grief and recognize which stage you're in. Okay. Another thing that I will say that is very helpful is to free your mind from hurting. And what I mean by that is go to the gym, read a book, listen to a podcast, maybe watch TV, listen to some music. I like to do that a lot. Or maybe go out of the house, surround yourself with family. Anything that's going to keep your mind engaged and just break up that grief, even if it's for 20 minutes a day. Or, when I first started getting up out of the bed again, my challenge every day was to leave the house at least once a day. And I would start off by going to the grocery store. It was up the street and around the corner, but that way, at least once a day, I was able to get away from the house and take my mind off of losing my father, even if it's just for a little bit. So start to do little things that will engage your mind into being able to think of something other than grieving. Another huge thing is hold on to your faith and what you believe in. And I'm not going to tell you what you should and should not believe in, but whatever it is that you believe in that is true to you, that you have faith in, hold on to that, because that's extremely important. For me, mine is, I believe that when we die, and this is what my father taught me, I believe that when we're absent from our bodies, we are present with God, and God is omnipresent, and he's omnipotent. And so my father did raise me to believe that we are sons of God, and so if we're absent from our body and we're present with the Lord, and if God is everywhere, then I believe that my father is everywhere too. So that's my belief. I won't get into that completely because I know that everybody has a different faith, and that's a whole different conversation. I don't want to go into that right now, but that is what I believe. So I do pray, and I do believe that my father is everywhere. So and also another thing that I like to say is know your limits, and don't be afraid to let others know what they are too. So if somebody says, okay, why don't you come hang out with me, or can you commit to doing so and so for me? Know what you can and cannot do right now, and be vocal and let people know, hey, I can commit to this for you, but I can only commit to this much. I don't think that I'm going to be able to do as much as I used to, but just give me some time and I'll be able to work my way back up to it. Be vocal about how you're feeling and about what you are capable of doing at that moment, because you don't want to get overwhelmed, because then anxiety sets in, and that's not good. Added anxiety on top of losing someone that you love is just not good, and it's not healthy. So limit yourself, know your limitations, and then gradually start to extend them. And last but not least is ask for help, okay? This is another one that I struggle with. Surround yourself with people who love you and who care about you, and don't be afraid to say, I'm hurting, I need some help. Can you just sit with me? Can you just listen to me for a minute? If people want to hug you, let them hug you. If people want to love on you, let them love on you, and open your mouth and say, hey, I'm having a bad day today, and it's okay. It is okay to have a bad day. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay to let people know that you are hurting. All right, guys, so I also wanted to say, if any of those tools that I shared that I use personally do not work for you, please, please, please seek help. I'm going to put some information down in the description box, because you should not be going through grief alone, okay? You need to speak to someone. So there are hotlines, there are websites, there are support groups. So I'm going to put as much information in the description box that I possibly can that you can use, and I just pray that it helps you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being patient with me yet again as I took another break. But I just appreciate everyone staying with me. Please continue to pray for me, pray for my family, pray for my dad's wife, which is my beautiful bonus mother, and my bonus sisters, my nieces. Just pray for my family, because my father really was an amazing man, and he was definitely the patriarch of our family. You know, he was more than granddad to my children. He was basically my children's father as well. He named all three of my kids. So, you know, he played a significant role in all of our lives, and we loved him so much, and he is greatly missed, greatly. So this is honestly the biggest struggle I've ever dealt with in my life, but I know that brighter days are ahead, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the things that he has poured into me manifest. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the things that he has poured into my children's lives and my nieces' lives, just as they grow up, to be able to see bits and pieces of him bloom in them. That is it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have not already hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do so. Hit that notification bell for more cooking videos in the future. I promise you I will upload more recipe videos in the very near future. And thanks for being patient with me, and I appreciate you guys so much, and I love you, and have a great day.